So in this session we're going to firstly look at core engagement, how to do that as an essential part of good exercise practice, and then we're going to move through into a bridge sequence. There's going to be quite a few progressions. I'm going to move through into some more advanced bridge exercises, so making sure that you work at your own level. I'll layer the exercises as we go through, so better to work with good form and just keeping it at the level that you know that you're comfortable with. So when you're ready, what we're going to do is just come down onto the mat, just rolling down nice and easy. Draw your feet in towards your glutes. So there's several elements to the core, and I start off usually with engagement of the pelvic floor. So drawing up on the pelvic floor, that muscle that you're going to contract if you want to stop yourself mid-flow when you go to the toilet, and then release. Now I want to bring this in with a neutral pelvis, and by that what I mean is you might naturally have a little bit of a rounding in your lower back just under your spine as you exercise. So we just want to make sure that that's kind of imprinted into the mat, which is safer form of exercise, protects the lower back. So if you just tilt your pelvis and kind of push your lower back into your hands or bring it into the contact with the floor, and then you know that you've kind of got a neutral lower back, imprint position, flat lower back, nice and protected. So take a breath in, and as you tilt your pelvis, just draw upon your pelvic floor, and then exhale, relax. And you're starting to now just to get a little bit of a rocking motion in the pelvis as you do that. Now I want to bring in another aspect of that, which is engagement of the abs. You often hear draw your belly button into your back or engage your abs with Pilates and yoga instructors. So I just want to explain a little bit about what that is. We're trying to engage a muscle called transversus, which is the lower abs. Now we only want about 20% to 30% engagement, so it's not really tight squeeze because we wouldn't be able to breathe, we wouldn't be able to maintain that. So as you take a breath in, tilt the pelvis, draw upon the pelvic floor, and just squeeze those lower abs. And maybe also squeeze your glutes. Then you've got a nice solid pelvis from which to exercise from now, and then relax. Now we're going to take this into bridge, so just drawing the heels of your feet slightly close towards your hips, so you can reach down and maybe touch the backs of your ankles. Feet and knees should be hip width apart. You can tell hip width, just be able to fit your fist just between your knees, and then trust that your feet are going to be also in hip width. Take a breath in, engage the core as we've just been doing, so tilt that pelvis, draw up on the pelvic floor, squeeze your lower abs, and just notice then that you're starting to lift your hips, and then we're going to continue that movement working up through the spine, lifting one bone at a time as you float the hips up towards the ceiling. Note that the chin comes up towards the chest. Squeeze your glutes. You're aiming to get a nice straight line from your shoulders down through your hips down towards your knees. So if you kind of reach down towards your knees, the line that your arms make is kind of a line of the plane of the body where it wants to be. And in this position you'll really feel as though you're having to fire your glutes to hold this in this glute bridge position. You might feel a little bit of work across your lower back. Your lower back is kind of working to help you stabilise there. Push down on the insides of your feet, and that'll fire your adductors and hold your knees parallel. And then for me, I just like to relax the shoulders down, making a nice flat contact across my upper back and my shoulders. Take a breath in there, push the hips up, squeeze, engage the core, and then we're going to lower down. Allow the shoulders to just round off the mat slightly. That allows the upper back to round, and then we're going to control it down, all the way down. As you start coming to the mid back, squeeze the abs. Round in the lower back until the hips come down, touch the mat, and then just relax. Take a breath in, and then we're going to peel up again. Engage, float the hips up, come up into that nice glute bridge position. All those check-ins, push down on the insides of the feet, squeeze your glutes, relax your shoulders, take a breath in on the exhale, lower down. So you can keep that going as a nice flowing bridge, great exercise, great core exercise. Or We'll come up again, and then we'll bring an arm float in, or float both arms up. So in that glute bridge position, take a breath in. On the exhale, going to float the arms up and over. Take a breath in there, push the hips up. On the exhale, float the arms back down by the sides. As the hands touch down on the back of the floor, take a breath in, push the hips up, and then we're going to flow back down. Squeeze the abs. And we'll keep this going as a nice flowing movement. Take a breath in, imprint, squeeze, lift. When you're in the glute position, glute bridge position, take a breath in, push the hips up, squeeze, float the arms up and over. So you can keep that going, bring the arms back down by the side, or as progression, keep the arms floated above the head. So keep the arms back, take a breath in. On the exhale, then we're going to lower down. And notice that the arms want to lift possibly, and it's that much harder to control your spine down, coming down like a wheel. And in this position, you might find that there's a slight more exaggeration. You can see the exaggeration of my back in this position. So I have to work harder now to maintain imprint or to gain imprint. Take a breath in, peeling up. Breath in at the top, exhale, control it down. Doing that 2 or 3 more times. On this next one, we're going to bring the arms back down by the side. So pause, breath in. On the exhale, float the arms back down by the side. And this time as we lower, notice how it's a little bit easier. Having worked in that extended position, now controlling it down becomes a little bit easier. This time as the hips come down, just window wiper the knees from side to side, just to loosen a little bit into your lower back. Nice and relaxed, nice and easy. So you can continue with working either of those levels, either a flowing bridge with or without the arm float. Now we're going to work up into shoulder bridge. So again, just reset your position, make sure you're not kind of work down the mat, push yourself down the mat, which can happen with bridges. Bring it up into glute bridge. And then to bring it into shoulder bridge, you can either just bind your hands under your spine and then just walk the shoulders together, squeeze the shoulder blades, which allows the hips to come up that a little bit higher. Great exercises to stay there. If you want to go into a supported shoulder bridge where we can take a few little variations, then maybe come up onto one toe, and that kind of lifts the hips, creates a little bit of space to bring your hands into your lower back, and then lower the feet back to the floor. So in this nice supported position, there's a lot of weight now coming down through my hands into my elbows, feels quite supported. And from here now we can start to take some leg extension. So take a breath in, squeeze the glutes, float the foot up so the knee comes directly above the hip, straighten out the leg, breath in there. On the exhale, lower the leg down, look down at the feet, and as the toes disappear, bend the knee, place the foot back on the floor. And do the same on the opposite side. Squeeze your glutes, take a breath in, squeeze the abs, float that knee up directly above the hip, straighten out the leg, long, straight leg. Breath in on the exhale, lower the leg down as the toes disappear, bend the knee, place the foot back on the floor. Keeping that going from side to side. Breath in, squeeze, lift, straighten out. Breath in, lower on the exhale, bend the knee, place the foot back on the floor. Same on the opposite side. Do that one more each side. So manage to get the hips moving as well, so there's both stability and mobility. To come out, pause in that shoulder bridge position, take a breath in, squeeze the glutes, just lift, take the pressure out of your hands, release the hands and control your hips down into a glute bridge position. Pause there, Take another breath in. On the exhale, we're going to roll down, coming out of that bridge. And either window wipe your knees from side to side, or this time maybe pulling your knees into your chest. Just rock around from side to side or forward and back. Just creating a little bit of movement, mobility back into your lower back. Bring the feet back to the floor. Going to come into some single leg bridge work, but not supported this time. We're going to do this from glute bridge. Just take a breath in, imprint, squeeze, lift, come up into that glute bridge position. Now you can use your hands this time as a bit of a gauge, so bringing your fingertips just onto your hip bone. And this is useful because we're going to single leg extensions. But what we don't want to do is you don't want the hips to drop down on one side or both together. So just keeping your fingertips just as a gauge on your hips. And if it does start to drop, then it's better to just kind of carry on working through the normal glute sequence. If not, take a breath in, squeeze the glutes, squeeze your abs. And on the exhale, they're going to straighten out one leg. Hold. Breath in. Place the foot back on the floor. Push the hips up. Breath in, squeeze. And on the exhale, straighten out the opposite leg. Then place the foot back on the floor. Push the hips up, squeeze. Breath in. On the exhale, straighten out the leg. Place the foot back on the floor. Reset. Breath in, squeeze. Straighten out the opposite leg. Place the foot back on the floor. One more time. Push the hips up, squeeze. Breath in on the exhale. Straighten out the leg. Place the foot back on the floor. Hips up. Breath in on the exhale. Straighten out the leg. Breath in, push the hips up, and on the exhale we're going to lower down. Rounding through the spine again, controlling this down like a wheel. When the hips touch down, just window wipe at the knees from side to side. One last progression, and that's to come into bridge with the legs extended. So it's single leg bridge, which is a real challenge. It's quite big on the hamstrings, so just making sure that you're comfortable with this. If you feel any kind of cramping, just bring it back down and maybe take a hamstring stretch or go back to doing normal bridge. If not, take a breath in, imprint, as if you would normally be coming up into a bridge position. And then from that position, straighten out the leg. Pause, squeeze the abs, take another breath in. And on the exhale, I'm going to lift, trying to lift the hips parallel, so I'm not lifting and dropping one hip to the side. Pause there, take a breath in. On the exhale, I'm going to lower, rounding through the spine, the same way as we came down before, so you're not dropping down like a hinge. We do this 3 times each leg. So breath in, imprint, peel up. Breath in at the top, squeeze, on the exhale, lower down. One more time, breath in, squeeze, peel up. And on the exhale, pause at the top, squeeze. Breath in, on the exhale, lower down. Bend the knee, place the foot back on the floor. Really big, really good on the hamstrings, hamstring strengthening. Take a breath in, imprint, straighten out the opposite leg. On the exhale, then peel up. Trying to bring both hips up parallel and level. Breath in at the top, squeeze, exhale, lower. 2 more, breath in, squeeze, peel up. Breath in at the top, squeeze, on the exhale, lower down. 1 more, breath in, squeeze, peel up. At the top, breath in, squeeze, on the exhale, lower down. And again, bend the knee, bring the feet to the floor, and again, either just window wipe at the knees from side to side, or bring your knees into your chest.